Bro, what the fuck? Dude, what the hell was that? What's up? I'm back. I don't know. My Wi-Fi just shit itself. Happens twice. I'm gonna be a little curious. So admittedly, a couple of days ago, I got there was an attempted DDoS attack on my stuff. I think there's some troll that's been following me for a bit. That was kind of fucking with me. I'm not gonna say that that's what it was, but it did just recently happen. So that's a bit interesting. Okay. Let me switch back over to this. There we go. Sorry about that. Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, let's get back to it. So what were we in deep about? So we're talking about QA. Let me get back to the video that we were just looking at here. Damn, the SWAT dude, I'm about to get swatted. Yeah. We got caught. Okay. So let's get back. You live? Okay, fuck yeah. We're back. We're back, boys. Hello.
And only a small portion are. And most of the places I worked at.
Okay. Video, it's about plushie, link on Discord drama. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, internet just shit itself. Dune Awakening, ooh. Okay. Okay, so we do have more info about him talking about what happened. About the swatting, which we'll jump into next. Okay. All right, I'll be going through, also, you guys are sending me some stuff here as well. Did you get swatted just while you were offline? You guys aren't going to believe this. Yeah, I got fully swatted. It was it was a nightmare. Essentially, they tried to kill me. But then I told them I worked at Blizzard for 8 years. And they walked it off. What's up, Mom? Guys, my mom's in the chat. Okay, let's get back to this. So we're talking about the quality assurance. I think we pretty much just set it up. Okay, so again, not to shit on quality assurance. It's a tough fucking job. I think he's actually going to explain here some of that. Like, you don't really have to do much coding, and he's trying to make it seem like he did a lot as a quality assurance analyst.
QA generally has no coding ability and are tasked with doing manual regression testing. Basically,
manual regressing. So accommodate up to 20 characters. Okay.
they get a series of test cases they need to go through, and each test case has a written out set of instructions they just follow. If something doesn't match the case steps, then a bug is filed and actual developers are tasked with addressing it. So I personally wouldn't call his 3 years at this position game development experience. And if we look at the bullet points he has on his LinkedIn, besides one line, namely the design and create an automated system, there's nothing here that even remotely implies he was coding or doing any kind of development. I'm making this point since Jason often claims he was a game developer at Blizzard for 7 years, but his first 3.5 years didn't include any developer roles. Also, to address his if QA didn't do their jobs.
So hold on, okay. As former employee, yeah, there's a lot of
games wouldn't be released argument. Most games have music. If a musician doesn't complete the OST, a game can't be released. Does that mean they're now developers too? Just because you say something confidently in a deep voice doesn't make it true. Moving on to his next role, we have.
I disagree. I have 40's video of this game triggering his DRM from original Steam copy. Maybe you could play it here. I can send it on Discord. I have 40 seconds video of his game triggering his DRM from original Steam. I thought that was debunked, that it did not have DRM. QA is rough as fuck. It just doesn't give you the expertise development authority that Pirate Software. You articulated it infinitely better than I just tried to like 4 times. Yes, it does not give you the expertise development that Pirate Software is trying to act like he has. Thank you.
Quality assurance hacks. Here he mentions he did some forensic analysis and detected threats. Also, something I'd like to note, all of his game projects listed here were coded using primarily the C++ programming language. This is a low-level programming language. This will be important a bit later in the video. As for the role, again, I wouldn't call this game development experience. This is more related to security work than game development itself. And from the bullet points, it doesn't seem like Jason was doing much coding. His next role for 6 months was test engineer. My opinions are pretty much the same as the previous role he held. Moving on, we have the next.
Do we know what a test engineer is by definition? It doesn't sound like he's going into it. Is it similar stuff? Testing engineer, I can kind of put 2 and 2 back. We're so back, chat. You can go ahead and send it, Pixel, in the or is that your name? Yeah, Pixel in the Discord. I'll take a look. Can Congrats on your YouTube success, bro. You're going to get big fast. So you keep this up. Thank you so much, Defeat Lust. And yeah, just so we're all clear here, I'm going to be making a much more cohesive video talking about what's going on and put something out here. I think the focus is we're just going to go over some more of the lies or misrepresentations by him because there's so fucking many. Okay. So Pirate Software got swatted. Are you really going to pull a Pokemon? What is that? Believe all victims? Is that what you're referencing? I think I actually get that one. C++. So, okay, wait, so do we understand test engineers? I haven't been looking for names here to see what we're talking about. Test engineer is basically a quality assurance, but more technical. So when you say more technical, what does that mean? You write tests that automatically test software that the actual devs write. So we could consider that dev work then, yes? Or why wouldn't we be able to? You do write some stuff as test engineer? Okay. We would assume like basics, things like that. I am reading YouTube chat. How dare you? Not while we're watching this, but yeah. Why are people focused on pirate software drama farming and not the actual movement? Dude, it's both. I'm a drama channel first, but video gaming is very important to me too. But I'm definitely going to cover both. I'm sorry. Test engineer is deliberately vague. An associate test engineer is usually someone who writes and maintains high-level test automation in smoke test runners. Okay. Wait. Is this on his... Sorry, I can't even believe I missed this. Thank you for pointing that out. Pepe Chill, thank you. Responsibilities. Mentored and led with LED. He just writes led as LED. Led a team of security. He sounded it out and then wrote it down. Led of security professionals. Well, he's not a writing professional. That's fair. Identified, reported, and posed solutions for vulnerabilities within products and services. Performed forensic analysis on detected threats, both internal and external. Acquired information needed to take immediate and long-term action against identified threats. Communicated effectively with a large number of teams across multiple disciplines. Created a new team and led it to victory. Epic. Chat, this is pretty sick. Yeah, no, that's boss. How am I doing? Wait, led is correct? No fucking way. Hold on. Did I just get clipped? No, you're the fucking morons. Oh, dub. Wait, no, I can't jump the gun yet. Hold on. Is lead proper? Is lead past tense of lead? Wait, it is? What? Okay, for the record, Google said no. For the record, Google said no at first. It was just saying LED, like the light thing. AI at overview is telling me yeah, lead is the past tense and past participle of the verb lead. Damn, I was wrong. Fuck. You don't understand how I'm correct, actually. Okay, my bad. I was clowning on him for no good reason. I am the moron. I pride myself in being able to spell things and knowing good words. I was wrong. Remove that from your memory. Or don't remove it, but lead is the correct way to write that. The only thing to be silly about that, damn, I just got fucked. Just let you all watch it too. Okay, so lead is fine, but just the fact that you throw in your resume, you know what? My fiance literally goes through resumes for a living. I should ask her thoughts on this. Created a new team and led it to victory. I thought led was spelt incorrectly. That turns out that is a past participle of lead. Underfed? No, please don't. I said underfed and I read it as underfed and I got absolutely taken the piss out of. Are you caught up on One Piece? No, I'm not. Okay.
Next role as security engineer for 11 months.
Finishing the Quintia lead situation is insane already. Or filming it.
This one is interesting. Since the bullet points here notes he managed web application security. For those that don't know what web applications are, it means he was working on websites and not games. There's no mention of programming here or what tools and languages he used. But regardless, this is without a doubt a non-game development role and doesn't have any overlap with game development. Okay, next up he
just added fluff to his resume. This is a nothing burger. I helped with website security. And then he says, in a leadership role on a newly formed team. That's huge. Okay.
development role and doesn't have any overlap with game development. Okay, next up, he moves to another security engineer role for 3 months. Again, same opinions as his last job. Now, his last role at Blizzard was a red team member. Red team is a common IT term that just means someone inside the company that attempts to hack into their systems, either digital or physical. So
he talked about the pen testing.
Red Hat's basically inside the company,
infiltrated and exploited physical access controls, managed social engineering operations to improve employees' awareness and resilience. Glad that they're more resilient now. Created, launched, and managed a global web application bounty program.
Attempts to hack
That sounds sick.
into their systems, either digital or physical. So Red Hat's basically try to make hacks and show how they got access. So these vulnerabilities and issues can be addressed before real hackers can abuse them. Now, while Red Hat is offensive security and hacking, it doesn't always mean you're programming like you see with those green terminals and pics. If we look at the bullet points Jason has listed, we can see he did exploiting physical access controls and social engineering operations. Social engineering is actually one of the most common ways hackers gain access to systems, and it doesn't have to involve any programming at all. Social engineering attacks are something like the following.
I really like listening to him talk about this stuff. This is pen testing, yeah.
Situation. Let's say Jason,
like, admittedly, like when I was watching Pirate a lot, this is something I was really interested in, the way that he was talking about pen testing.
in this example, is a social
Password post-its. That is the best way to describe that. Yeah.
engineer, and his target is a fellow Blizzard employee with access to the game servers. He could call them or email them from a legitimate Blizzard phone number or email and say he needs their account credentials. Normally, you would never share live in production account credentials, even if someone from your own company. But let's say Jason manages to convince the employee to hand the credentials over. Now Jason has a way to log into the system he shouldn't have access to. This is a social engineering attack. It's not technical hacking like most people think of. It's generally just being convincing enough and getting employees to hand over info or access they shouldn't be giving out.
Thinking about that, no wonder Pirate was good at that. I would assume that he was good at this. He's very confident, even when he's wrong. That ends up doing numbers for you. You've seen videos of people like walking into movie theaters with ladders and just wearing the right stuff and being confident enough that they'll just get in. But you're right. He makes it end up, he kind of conflates it with his coding prowess and whatnot.
All right, with all of that, and with all those jobs, we have 6 years and 6 months at Blizzard full-time for Jason. And if we include his time as a QA intern in 2004, we basically have his 7 years of experience at Blizzard accounted for. Judging by everything he has written here, it seems as though he's never held an actual game developer position, and he's never done any game development directly. All of his roles at Blizzard were either QA, website security, or social engineering, basically his hacking. It doesn't seem like he's ever touched C++, which is the industry standard language to use when doing game development. But before I finish my thoughts on this, let's check out one more job after Blizzard. After Blizzard, Jason.
Now, admittedly, I was expecting, because I saw someone else comment that it's industry standard to include the coding languages that you're proficient in, things like that. I was expecting that would be answered down the road, that it's like included at a different part of this resume, but it's seeming like that is not included, and they're pointing that out, which doesn't look good.
Worked at Amazon Games for 8 months as an automation engineer. Again, he wasn't a game developer here. He also didn't include much information under his bullet points. He did documentation of vulnerabilities and did some automation work with Python. This is the first officially recorded line that actually shows he did some programming. Python is what we call a high-level language, meaning the language is designed to be easy for humans to read and understand as well as to write. Python is a wonderful language, and I'm not throwing any shade at it, but Python is not a language used to create.
Good at simple tools, data analysis, sciences, maths, repetitive tasks. Bad at games, critical systems, HPC, high performance computing.
Games.
Okay.
Technically, yes, you can code games in Python. Big drawback is it's an incredibly slow language. This is why the industry standard language for game development is C++, a low-level language that allows for incredible performance. The trade-off is it's a significantly more difficult language to work with. The reason
now I understand why Soggy went C++. Ooh.
Through his job history so far and his programming language list is because Jason often claims he's a 20-year veteran of the game dev industry, and he was a game developer at Blizzard for 7 years, and he uses.
Now, admittedly, I am relying on you guys when it comes to this, because I'm out of my depth when it comes to coding and it comes to that game development. I'm just looking at this, like, let's just look at it and see what he's talking about. Like, if he's going to be covering or he's going to be lying about his game dev experience, and I'm taking it just from this person doing that research or you guys, like that's where I'm getting it. So I want to be forthright about my lack of knowledge in this.
These claims to make himself seem like an authority and expert on game development and game-related topics, namely stop killing games. But from the looks of it, and in my opinion, it doesn't seem to me he's ever worked as an actual game developer within the industry, and it doesn't seem like he's ever done much program work in the industry either. I'm not throwing shade at any of the jobs listed here so far. I'm just trying to be absolutely clear that none of this, in my opinion, as someone that has worked on game engines and done game development, none of this counts as game development experience, with a lot of his roles having absolutely nothing to do with game development itself at all. To help make this
clear,
he's a Blizzard for 7 years, and he
I left for Amazon Game Studios just in 5 minutes. It don't work. Other people, history 20 years. Amazon Game Studios, been in the gaming industry for 10 years. It almost feels like he is kind of just like skirting it, you know, going out of his way to, again, that plausible deniability. Like, technically, it's true. Like, technically, I was in the gaming industry because he was working at Blizzard, a game development company. Or Blizzard, I'm pretty sure it's more than that now at this point. But he keeps like kind of skirting it. He's not, I was a game developer. I think he's talked about game development. I don't know. Maybe he's going to show me something down the road. But you see what I mean? Like, he's just kind of like dodging, you know, technically he has black badges because you have to work on those as a team, right? I think it's just, you know, being misleading again. Like, you know, it's like when you're writing a resume to submit for somebody, you're kind of you ham it up, except he's completely done that. And after he goes through it, yeah, none of that was game development.
Uses these claims to make himself seem like he's ever done much program work, or that none of this, in my opinion, as someone that has worked on game engines and done game development, none of this counts as game development experience, with a lot of his roles having absolutely nothing to do with game development itself at all. To help make this clearer, here's another example to help everyone understand. It's like someone working at a hospital and doing payroll work, but because they're at a hospital, they claim to be a qualified doctor. It doesn't make any sense. Jason is—
It's like, yeah, I've been working in the medical industry for 10 years, and they've been the front door clerk or security guard.
Making a giant leap with his "I'm a game developer for 7 years at Blizzard" claims. Anyways, let's go back to his LinkedIn and see what's next. Here we have that he was a cybersecurity specialist at Eagle Research Group. Based on Jason's stories, this should be when and where he was technically working for the government. There isn't a whole lot of information here, and with most of the bullet points being extremely generic. Since he claims this was
I completely forgot about that. It was with the government. He was doing, it was like nuclear reactor pen testing.
Government-related work, I think it's perfectly reasonable to assume he has NDAs, or he might not be able to give any specifics related to his work here.
And then when I did that, I went to the United States Department of Energy and I hacked power plants for the federal government.
Jason makes a lot of claims being a hacker and has told a lot of stories, but I could never find anything to back up his hacking claims. So far, the only thing I found was he did do some social engineering attacks at Blizzard. Now, some of you might know about his DEF CON stories and his Mr. Robot claims. I'll probably cover those in a separate video. The reason is all of his DEF CON wins were done in teams of 10 people, never solo. And for his other hacking claims, there's only stories to go off of. To keep this video from being too long and off topic, I'll save his hacking claims for its own thing.
Please go check this guy out and give him a sub. Slop News Network. That's like, he's got a very good brain for content because he can absolutely separate and he's keeping it on point. That's cool. He's doing this very well.
Okay, his next set of experience is at his own company, also named Pirate Software. But before we touch on that, let's talk about his more recent topic.
Really quick, I'm going to link the video for you guys. I'm just going to post it a bunch. Just go and drop him a sub if you're liking this. This is very well put together.
Experience at Off-Brand Games first, as that's a smaller topic to cover. Off-Brand Games is a game publishing company founded by Ludwig and Jason. I'm not entirely sure if Jason is a co-founder.
Ludwig and two other people were the founders, and they hired him on. I don't think he was a founder of it. I think he told us endlessly that he was a founder of it.
Or not. Jason claims he isn't, but most posts and Ludwig's posts talking about the company seem to imply he is. Whether or not he's a co-founder isn't too important. Jason's role at the company is director of strategy. From Jason's comments on the matter, he basically helps indie game developers negotiate contracts. Again, no direct game development work here. Also, fun fact, the very first game Off-Brand Games was co-publishing was Rivals of Ether 2. A game by the developer's own words was built this time around.
We are launching the game at an entry point cheaper than most AAA games and plan to grow the game over time. We are also designing our cosmetic shop and game updates to be similar to other live service games.
As a more live service game. Really makes you think why you might not want to stop killing games to succeed. Also, don't throw any hate at Rivals of Ether 2. They actually do have an end-of-life plan to keep the game playable and alive for the community after it ends. The same goes for the rest of the off-brand published games. Don't throw them any hate. Okay, we're going to take
Based.
Just one more detour before we get to the
I think if he works on improving his thumbnails, it could really boost his channel. And say how interesting he makes the vid yet purely informational. Yeah, he has written this really well.
Pirate Software Company. Let's check out Jason's GitHub and see if there's any code for us to review there. For those of you that don't know what GitHub is, it's basically the site where developers store their code bases and development teams can work together on a code base. In Jason's case, his code bases would be tied to his games. Okay, so here's Jason's GitHub account. And and he has 0 public projects on his account, and 0 activity for the year of 2025. Okay, the no public repos doesn't exactly prove anything, and you don't need to have public repos, but most active developers do have something at least. Also, let me point out, GitHub does have an option of having private repos, which are code bases not viewable by users not part of the team. But GitHub also has the option to show activity on private repos on your profile without leaking any private repo data. Again, this doesn't prove anything, but it's incredibly odd to see a self-proclaimed developer and hacker have 0 public code on his GitHub and 0.
It's also interesting because if he had some, he would be making sure everyone could see it. It's just the type of guy he is. That's not even like really giving him a ton of shit. He's got a huge ego. He would absolutely be posting it.
Activity on his account. Let's try 2024, and there's nothing.
Oh wait, Sagi, do you have something of this, or is it just because of your development there with your stuff that probably doesn't line up with what he's describing?
Okay, 2023. Oh, I see some activity, and it's bug reports.
Yeah, things I've really seen him have experience on is the shorts and social engineering.
He has made 4 bug reports and some feature requests, 0 coding to review for 2023. Okay, let's try 2022. All right, I see 2 green dots. And again, it's 2 bug reports, no code to check over. All right, 2021, I'm feeling lucky, and there's nothing. Okay, 2020, he's applying to be a part of the live coders list. All right, last year to check, 2019, and his only activity is he joined January 13, 2019. Man, that was disappointing. Over 7 years of having a GitHub account, he seems to have done 0 public coding, with a grand total of 6 bug reports. Again, this doesn't prove anything too much, but most professional developers and hackers generally have something on their accounts, even if it's just super minor stuff like their settings for their favorite text editor or application. Jason could have a separate personal account where he does all his work, but the entire thing is just incredibly strange and unusual.
Why wouldn't he put it on his Pirate Software one though? If anything, he'd copy and paste all of it or showcase it. Like, I don't know.
About every tech YouTuber and streamer has a GitHub account with
and again, I'm gonna be wrong about one of these things. I feel like I'm getting too much like visibility on some of my shit that I'm literally waiting for the day for Pirate to come and debunk me and give me shit for being wrong about something. It's any day now.
Some random projects scattered around. Anyways, finally with all those positions and GitHub stuff out of the way, let's finally get to Pirate Software, the company, and Jason's actual game development start. Let's take a look at his game dev skills, his game dev
CEO. Look at him.
Execution.
His 8-year development game. Keep in mind, folks, that Escape from Tarkov has been in development for it's been in beta for like 10 years, and they get shit on for it endlessly.
With all his bragging, I'm sure this is going to be an incredible story with no issues at all. All right, so his first game his studio published was a game called Champions of Breakfast. This was a game roughly built in 8 months in the Game Maker engine. This was the first game that Jason claimed had the unpiratable DRM, where basically the game's Steam achievements acted as a save file. I'll touch on
Don't worry, you've actually done your research unlike him. Yeah, but some of the research could be wrong.
all these points again in just a bit. Keep them in mind while I move to his next and only other game, Heartbound. So Heartbound is the big game Pirate Software is known for, and it has a crazy development history. So according to the wiki, Heartbound's first build was October 7th, 2015. Again, this game was also made in Game Maker. It's a 2D game that's mostly story-driven with extreme similarities to Undertale, and is supposed to have 5 acts or chapters in total. A Kickstarter for the game was launched on February 24th, 2017, roughly a year and a half after work originally started on it. The original goal was to have the game finished and released by December 2017, but shortly after the launch,
I forget about how absolutely brutal the timeline is for this. I bet I could even beat him at StarCraft 2. A million %. You could beat him at a 1v1 in WoW. He'll let us all know that after he starts running away, like, what could he do? We are hoping to fully finish release. Well,
it was claimed the game was to be fully complete and released in early to mid 2018. A few months later, the goal was once again changed and now was targeting early access on Steam in December 2018. The game did land on Steam in December of 2018. In early access, this release contained a chapter 1 that was complete.
Sorry, yeah.
With a basically near fully done chapter 2. Gee, I hope this doesn't become a trend with delays, failed promises, and shifts in goals. Surely Jason will complete this game in a few more years, right? At the very start of January 2019, they released a patch where in the patch notes it said Animus, the name of chapter 3, was being developed. And this is where everything started truly going to hell. Now, we have a few things we should note here. This is technically the 3rd year of development if we're going off the October 2015 first build date. If we compare this to Undertale, Undertale completed development in 2 years, 7 months, with Toby Fox doing most of the development solo, with some help from Tammy Chang on art. Also, let's just take a quick look at the how long to beat site and see how much content Undertale has. Okay, the main story is 7 hours. With side content, it's roughly 11 hours. A completionist run is 20.5 hours. Okay, pretty good and respectable times for an indie game built in 2 years, 7 months. Heartbound, as of 2025, is still in active development. So let's take a look at how much-
What? There's no fucking way, dude. Okay, I've never seen these stats. I've never seen the stats for this. I had no idea. Like, in comparison, and people call this an Undertale clone? What? I don't, like, everything that I've heard about, like, shitting on his progress in it, that it's slowed down because he's streaming and stuff. Honestly, all of that gets so, like, easily recontextualized with just this. The main story is only 2.5 hours.
Much content time they
just above the refund period. That's a very interesting point to be made that may or may not correlate.
All right, the main story is 2.5 hours. With side content, it's 3 hours, and a completionist run is 3.5 hours. The Pirate Software team has been working on this game for 10 years, currently more than 3 times as long as the Undertale team, and the Pirate Software team has 1 additional team member. Yeah, just think about that for a moment. Anyways, let's start diving through 2019 and Chapter 3 Animus development. For most of 2019, it seems like there was steady progress on Chapter 3 with various patches over the year, so far saying additional content was added. On October 2019, Jason tweeted that roughly 86%
saying it about 86% completion for the chapter
of Chapter 3 has now been completed. Then 2 years later, Jason tweets that Chapter 3 is now 92% done. So over 2 years, he made 8% progress on one chapter. 20 years of game dev industry experience, people, and 7 years working at Blizzard. Okay, let's rewind and go back to
wait.
People.
Sorry, I need to hear that again.
Jason tweeted that roughly 86% of Chapter 3 has now been completed. Then 2 years later, Jason tweets that Chapter 3 is
86 to 92. 6% in just shy of 2 years.
Is now 92% done. So over 2 years, he made 8% progress
8%.
on one chapter.
Wait, no. That is 6%. That is 6%.
20 years
Unsubscribe.
of game dev industry experience, people, and 7 years working at Blizzard. Okay, let's rewind and go back to 2020 and see the Twitch statistics and see what was happening. Okay, the start of 2020 up till March seems like a normal stream schedule. Seems like he caught a cold on March 10th. Then after 9 days, he goes to urgent care and is diagnosed with pneumonia and gets a COVID test. Then we move to March 21st and COVID test results come back and it's negative. No COVID, just pneumonia. Wait, never mind. March 24th, Jason goes back to urgent care. Pneumonia was incorrectly diagnosed and he actually has severe bronchitis. All right, March 30th, he's still sick, but once again confirms negative for COVID. This is really important. All right, a few days later, April 10th, and his cold status is defeated and we're good to go. I know I'm being semi-joking in this section, but I generally don't wish Jason any health issues. All right, so then we move on to April 11th, 2020, and work on Heartbound has restarted. Work is continuing over the next few days. According to tweets, most of April was good, so was most of May 2020. We're still working on Heartbound at this point. Again, nearly all of the May prog is on Heartbound. Then we skip all the way over to July 2020, and work on Heartbound is still progressing. Seemed like there's some trouble during September, October, and November, with December being fine, and so is January of 2021 being fine. Then we hit February 2021, and then he tweets out,
is during most of 2020, I had to stop development due to contracting COVID-19 in February. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way, dude. How is this not seen sooner?
he has had COVID for 9 months since the start of February of 2020. Wait, what? Jason was only sick in March according to his own tweets at that time period. And there's work from February from earlier. And there's proof he worked during April, May, June, July, and August at the very least, judging by his Twitch stats and his Steam announcements and patches for the game. It seems the only major slowdown of streams and work was 3 months of September.
Dude, what if he just said, yeah, I've been dog shit at working on the video, or I've been dog shit at working on the game because I blew up as a streamer. Wouldn't that be so nice? Wouldn't it just be, yeah, you know what? I've been doing a pretty shit job at the game development part of this. And, you know, that's on me because I've just been super front loaded. Instead, I hate this shit, dude.
June, July time period. And there's work.
Instead, yeah, during most of 2020, while I was putting out consistent updates, I had to stop development due to contracting COVID-19. Took me roughly 9 months to recover and absolutely zero tweets talking about my COVID experience. Oh my God, I have asthma. I literally use an inhaler. Like, I literally do all this shit. I actually, bro, he could have even said, I'm burned out, need to take a break. Yes, except he was doing consistent updates. I blew up as a streamer, so I've actually hired a team of 3 extra people to crush the game dev. It's that easy. Bro, it actually is. Like, it actually is. That's... I don't even know how the fuck I'm gonna make this video for today. I'm gonna have to just make one for tomorrow talking about this. I'm gonna shout the fuck out of this guy. I don't... Has anybody seen this get covered? Soggy, did you cover this? Anybody else? Like...
2020. Wait, what? Jason was only sick in March according to his own tweets at that time period. And there's work from February from earlier. And there's proof he worked during April, May, June, July, and August at the very least, judging by his Twitch stats and his Steam announcements and patches for the game. It seems the only major slowdown of streams and work was 3 months of September, October, and November, where he lost 9 months of time and had to stop development.
I'm sorry, this is reminding me of the Mr. B shit. Because yeah, this just came out, but this has just been sitting in plain sight for everybody to see. And just nobody, why would anybody look into it? Like, why would anybody do research to find this shit out? And now it's becoming more and more apparent, and like people are finding more and more stuff.
Based on his tweets, I have no idea. I mean, it's not like he's going to change his story after this, right? Oh wait, there's this old tweet from November 2020 where Jason says he was recovering for nearly 8 months and couldn't daily stream or work. Let's look at the Twitch stats graph again and his tweets. He couldn't work during this period, but everything he posts during this time says he was working on Heartbound, and his Twitch stats confirm it. So does Steam. I mean, Jason wouldn't lie and change his story and opinions randomly, right? Especially not to his loyal viewers and Heartbound fans. Let's skim the graphs and see what else we can see. Okay, 2021, minus the months of March, April, May, and June, his streaming is extremely good and consistent, with tons of stream days going past 10 hours and some days hitting 16 hours. 2020, about the same for March, April, May, and June, and September, with the rest of the months being slightly less consistent, but still more consistent than not. Then we get to 2023, and this is incredibly consistent with the stream averages being 6 to 8 hours per day. Let's start diving back into Jason's tweets. So on June 2023, he catches COVID again. Okay.
Systems offline for a bit, body aches, fever, and sludge, everything. 103.2 fever, heading to the ER, back home, fever gone. I no longer have a sense of taste or smell. COVID is bullshit and food is now sad cardboard. Based. Fever keeps clawing back. I'm now an ibuprofen-based organism. So real, King. That's boss.
That seems to match up with his Twitch stats graph. Here there's a clear week gone. Let's see what Jason says in July.
That was a hell of a thing. That's the second time I've gotten COVID. The first time took 9 months to recover. This one took probably about, I think it was in total about 20 days. So
there's no point in time in 2020, 2021, 2022, or 2023 where he lost 9 months consecutively or stopped development for that period of time. He also in the clip claimed he got COVID twice.
Wait, Agent Heroic, if you could send that into the drama chat on Discord, I would love to take a look at that. Sorry, I'm just catching up with you guys too. Yeah,
total. So that doesn't explain why there's 4 sections of gaps.
I love this. Look at this fucking data.
Twice in total.
So here's where he caught it. So wait, so how does it read? Does it read like down and then to the next one? If he caught it here, he does continue. He keeps saying it's months and months of recovery, but he snaps back in like a week or two every single time, not even at times.
So that doesn't explain why there's 4 sections of gaps on development, since all these gaps are months apart and he only had COVID twice. Let's skip ahead to June 2024 and see what he says about these 4 years of development.
Okay.
How long have you been working in this game? Was the coding a solo job? Yeah. Nobody else has touched the code base for Heartbound ever except for me. It's just me. I've been working on it for about 7 years, but I lost 2.5 years to COVID.
Okay, I hope at this point you realize his excuses for not working on Heartbound and his tweets are filled with complete BS.
We should call Dora and ask her if she can find the 2 years.
Once again, he stopped development in 2020, 3 months between September to October. where he had his first COVID period of inactivity. His second COVID was in June 2023. No matter how you try to arrange this and make sense of it, the numbers don't work out. Especially since we can see his 2023, he basically had a perfect stream schedule. And if we look at 2021 and 2022, there were only 2 gaps where he seems to be affected, and they're months apart. Jason basically just decided to quit working on his game sometime during 2020 and has been making random excuses since then on why he hasn't made progress. Chapter 3 anime.
Just say why! Hey guys, I got a sponsored deal to stream this game for a couple months. You guys cool with that? Making my bag? I'm gonna have to put Heartbound on break. You know what though? I'll help out. I'll be kind. I'll do something nice. Like he could do, oh my God, he could do anything. He could literally do anything and explain it as opposed to just, oh my God, yeah, COVID wrecked me for 2 years. Please don't look at my tweets where I openly say that I tested negative for COVID repeatedly, and then only after about 9 months after that fact, I say that I had COVID leading into it, and also was still developing the game while I said that I wasn't. Just be up. Like, just be honest about it. I don't, with long COVID sting and speaking nonstop, yeah.
The reason
Dude, he's saying his lungs are fucked beyond a reasonable doubt. I've been nebulized. I am a fucking little bubble kid. Like, I'm a bubble boy. I was asthmatic. I've gone to the ER for my asthma because there have been times where nebulizer just did not fix it. I've literally done that. I have a rescue inhaler and I have a daily inhaler that I have to take every single day because of my asthma. I fucking know. Like, I've had COVID. It's fucked me up like that. I haven't had, long COVID, but if it were that case, I've had friends that have gone through it. I know what that looks like. And for him to talk about having long COVID and he's just chilling, like weeks and weeks of development during that time, that's a crack of it's a crock of shit. Sorry, I'm losing my eloquence. This is just for the record. Like, I get really uppity and stuff about this. I don't like go to bed like freaking out about this shit. But like when I'm in it, dude, like this is like it's so fucking annoying.
This chart started all the way back in January of 2019. If we look at the latest patch in 2025, work on Chapter 3 Animus is still going somehow. We have gone through 6 years of development so far, and Jason hasn't been able to complete 14% of Chapter 3. Seriously, what the hell? Remember, Undertale took 2 years, 7 months to finish the full entire game with 3 times as much content as what Heartbound is currently delivering in 2025,
Dude.
with 10 years of development time under its belt. To put this into even more perspective, let's look at Yandere Dev, a developer notorious.
It would be better if he used any other scapegoat. Can we agree Heartbound is a knockoff Undertale? Everyone says it. Also, thank you for the $2. No, like it really is. It really is just a scapegoat. He could just say why he isn't. Like, it's okay. Like, literally anybody would be so forgiving, especially because everyone revered him at this point. All he'd have to say is like, hey, I've got to take a space away from, I got to take a break from, I've got to take a break from doing the coding, from developing every day. I got to chill with like the voice. Like I'm going to do some silent streams or something goofy like that or whatever. So it wasn't the case with the COVID. I'm kind of, I'm mixing two things. He could have just said why he wasn't doing it. People would be annoyed, but you shouldn't be tricking them into buying your game under the false pretense that you're actively updating and developing it at a reasonable pace. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm a little crazy right now. Like, people would have been okay with it. The only issue is he wouldn't have had people buying the game because, yeah, they shouldn't be. They should wait till he's got it done at this point. But he was using it as like, oh, it's super kind of you to support me, just a solo developer. Like, going kind of for that cash cow of being like, oh, I don't know.
Notorious for having no clue what he's doing programming-wise, and spends the majority of his day responding to emails and maybe spending a few minutes each day working on his game. He makes more progress.
You know what? I think he does tell people not to buy it, which is a weird thing. Like, I appreciate that you guys donate. I'm not expecting you to donate. I'm just glad that you're here and watching because then I get ads for watch time. But even me like addressing this and saying like, oh, don't donate and stuff. You know what's happening. You'd like, oh, please don't donate. Yeah, donations would be fantastic. That's the fucking expectation. Okay, there we go. And yeah, great. But for Pirate Software to be like, oh, you guys, please don't buy it. It's not good. You can support me, blah blah blah. But don't get it. You get it, right? Reverse psychology. But I don't like saying because it's just like duh. But like he's absolutely doing that, and like you're always going to be able to hide behind. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I've been telling people not to buy it. I've been telling people not to buy, so I don't understand why they're buying it, but I really appreciate the support. I have ad block. Don't worry. Good. Keep the ad block.
And more consistently than Jason does. Seriously, I'm not joking. Here's the update.
Thank you for the donation, DJ. I appreciate it.
List for Yandere Dev starting in 2020. Yandere Dev has made more progress and more consistently at that. And that
this is probably the worst part. This is actually probably the worst part. Thank you so much for the, I don't know what that is, but thank you so much for the 100, Pachu. Holy shit. All right, we're good. I genuinely do want to get through this though. Okay.
year alone than Jason has in the last 5. We just might be living in a timeline where Yandere Dev finishes his game before Jason does.
This would genuinely, he'd find a way. He'd find a way to cope it. If you don't put out your game before Yandere Dev is, who is the guy? When we're talking about the fucking guy, he's the fucking guy for not putting out the game. That's insane. Thank you again for another donation, ZZT. It wouldn't ruin him, but it'll make a banger video. Oh my god, dude, a live stream of the Wait, what is Yandere Dev? What is he making?
Yes, and more consistently.
What maybe I won't play that. What is he? Is his thing like a? Is it a porn game? I've never really looked into it. I've just heard about it. Yandere Dev issue. Hey, that's my brother. Thank you for the 10. I'll pay it back to you. Oh, thank you for the 10,000 shelf again.
Add that. And
what is it again? Anime Girl Hitman? Do you play as an anime girl, but it's Hitman Absolution? Fetish Gooner game, but not full nudity? What the fuck? Okay. I've heard shit about it.
That year alone, then Jason has
girl gets jealous and kidnaps guy she likes. She also kills some stuff. Okay, so just like a weird fantasy kind of thing.
As in the last 5. We just might be living in a timeline where Yandere Dev finishes his game before Jason does. And yes, I might have gone slightly crazy trying to plot 6 years of Animus development with conflicting tweets and time gaps on the Twitch stats graph.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Oh,
I just found.
go away, union
All right,
busting.
so I'm sure.
Okay. Bro, this guy's making a fucking banger, dude. Get involved in the Apex hacking. I tested negative for. Okay. This is fucking absurd. Thank you so much, guys. I need to make a video talking about some of the stuff here, like the Twitter, like the COVID shit. I don't blame people, especially if we're tying this back to the SWAT stuff. I don't blame people for thinking that they're like, he's definitely hamming that up. I'm more led so to believe it even after watching this video, because I'm seeing more and more of it just like right now, the pattern behavior. For those who don't know, like I covered, thank you so much for the 25 Nokia. Thank you to Lil Panda Cub. I don't understand how you're so confident about that. Sorry, I'm fucking all over the place right now. Here we go. Best friend now in plush. Wait, when was that? Should we look at the? Well, I want to comb through what you guys have put for me in the drama chat to see what's going to be useful to go over here. Nothing. This is just related to the tens of thousands of accounts harassing me. He does use 10,000. Talks about, okay, so that was the negative stuff. That one, ironic that he studied. Yes, that's usually what QA and gaming is doing. Stream down. We got that back. Was there anything else that's happened to me and I got yard like I'm a pirate? What? Okay. Because he pirated the game. Back to back. First time game crashed. So, I mean, we could take a look at the Kickstarter for the, oh, wait. Thor cited a blogger presumably named Daniel Tan, whom I thought was some sort of lawyer as reason not to sort SKG. This is the post. So I have seen the post. Do we know more about who that is? Does anybody know the Daniel? Let me pull up the site for you guys. The Daniel's blog thing. I still haven't fully gone through this. Pirate Software to block you, Mr. Streamer. I wonder how long it will take for Pirate Software to block you, Mr. Streamer. I'll see if we message him. I studied psychology in college, which may not be the most bulletproof credentials. It's funny the way you put it. But Pirate Software comes off to me as a textbook case of compulsive liar. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I was saying this. I popped into Chud Logic's stream before. If you guys know Chud Logic, we've bantered back and forth. We've had like debates and stuff. I jumped in. He was talking about this, and the thing that I brought up about this swatting thing and the issue that I'm kind of seeing here is realistically, right? There's no, honestly, we're probably not going to see, proof of that, because that could kind of dox him, right? If it does, great, we'll be able to take a look at it. But if I'm just saying like, the odds are, let's say we don't see it, it's kind of like, I don't know how to put this into words. He doesn't have to prove it, because it is a fucked thing. And realistically, he probably did get called. And if he didn't make the preparations that he did and someone swatted him, that can result in somebody dying. Like that is a legitimate thing. But because he did that, it's not that, like, for me, that threshold gets lowered. Like, yes, someone called in SWAT. It doesn't always mean they want you dead. It does mean they want to fuck with you and they want it to show up on stream. Right. So, and again, we're not talking about the proof of swatting. I'm just kind of, let's engage in this logic exercise with me. It feels like, and I'm not saying this is true, I'm just speculating after kind of like seeing a lot of the stuff we're talking about. It feels like that he can paint it as such. He can paint it as the Stop Killing Games initiative is, someone there, one of these freak shows, because I don't like the Stop Killing Games initiative. They have targeted me and they're trying to kill me. And suddenly, this SWAT attempt vindicates his victim complex, which he has showcased this entire time. And suddenly, he has this ability, especially for his group. Think about like Dr. Disrespect turning heel and going deeply political after all that, like him talking to a minor. I'm not comparing Pirate for that minor shit. But as soon as everyone fucking like swore him off, he heel turned and was saying, and turned it into a political thing. He went heavy, like right leaning. And he kept that group of like, I don't know, like 10K active viewers or whatever, kept his community, and then just hardballed focused on the political side of it. And he just like went super radical. It was like everyone that disagrees with me, or everyone that's like saying blah, 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 there's fucking left leaning pussy, like whatever, like that. And it feels similarly in this moment, again, just speculating, that he's able to use this. He's able to vindicate his audience and say, oh yeah, look at me. I am the victim. People are trying to kill me. Even though it might have just been a wellness check. Again, we don't know that for sure. And now, no matter what anyone says, no matter what people are going to bring up, those people are always going to be there watching him. They're always going to be there to support him, because as far as they're concerned, and as far, like, if they're taking him at his word, he is a victim. And suddenly everything that he said, including like the tweets that we just looked at, like literal proof of him lying consistently, none of that matters. And they're never going to see it. They're just going to like ride the train, follow him, do whatever, and it's not going to matter. And the more and more he's able to cultivate that, it's not going to matter anything that anybody says. And suddenly we're just kind of talking to each other and being like, yeah, no, he fucking sucks. But everyone that's watching him, it doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't matter. I don't know. Is that making sense? So, well, let me move over to you guys, and then we'll take a look at this, the thing that he linked. I do want to see, I asked you guys a question I didn't even check to see for answers. Let me see. Agree. Been on stream talking about how he's called into the police to let them know he's a streamer and to call first because people will swat him. He's been on stream talking about it. Yeah, we checked some of that earlier. Good theory, yeah. Winning an argument with a genius is hard, but winning one with a moron is impossible. Real shit, King. Real shit. So I think pathological lying, he's always a victim. He could not have been gotten swatted or mentioned it, and it would still be a victim. Yeah, also like all of the criticism that he's received, he's just turning it into, well, no, actually. Discord link description's invalid. Let me throw it in chat here. Sorry about that. Which video is it invalid on? So we can get that changed for you guys. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Just sent them in. Person in the light basically did the same. What's up, Walter? So it reminds me. Okay. Watching this makes me feel good about my GitHub page. Yeah, not doing much. Rogan swatted and posts nothing on Twitter. I mean, he's being smart. Like, if he doesn't post anything, then no one can get him on it. Like, because every single thing that he has posted in the last week is the reason that you guys are here right now. Because every single time he's fucked up or something has come out. That's why I've had really good views over this last week, is because every single time he posts, he fucks up. He makes a mistake. I was just talking about it. He's getting messy. So I don't blame him. Like I do not blame him 1 second. Like every single time he has posted, it has resulted in a net negative experience for him. If he plays this smart, he never addresses this again. But now it's going to be a matter of like, is his ego going to allow him to go silent? Or is he actually going to be able to say stuff and like prove me wrong, or prove, you know, what any other people have brought up to be wrong? He tried with the SKG stats. And I like literally, I was like, I'm not even sure about that. I think he'll just shut up from now on. Thor is literally, I thought he was too. And then he put that the SKG graph post. Freedom of information request to call or check if it happened. I'm just worried about how like privacy would work with that. Because he is somebody where like that could cause a serious risk. And I could be wrong, but I think that they have stuff in play for shit like that. But okay, I'm kind of yapping long enough there. Like some real stuff. Holy shit, Boy Tiger Rockin'. Dude, that's one of my OGs. Thank you so much for the $50. Holy fuck. That's literally my 20th super of all time. Oh my god, thank you so much. Yeah, we got Quinthio talking about GTA 6. Always said he reminded me a little bit of Young. Is your point basically that the supposed swatter gives him a real victim card, allowing to just avoid explaining everything he did wrong prior? Yeah, essentially. I think so. I think he can just hold on to that and then ignore all other criticisms, which admittedly I kind of did in my video. I was like, hey, well, actually, no, I take that back. I didn't do that. I addressed it and I was like, hey, you know, I'm not talking about the validity here. Let's just say, yeah, swatting fucking bad. If someone called in, regardless of if they showed up to his home and like broke down his door, him playing it up, hamming it up and like misrepresenting that, not okay. But him, like someone making a call to SWAT on him is still bad. Like across the board, because if he didn't put that note in, that is an issue. And like it could be a call. Like he made it seem like he's like, they were trying to kill me. The way that he set it up, it makes it sound like, yeah, there were people that went and banged down on his door. So I'd like to see proof of that, because it just seems like insimilar. And we had talked about this at the beginning of stream. He's talking about, or he's framing it similarly to the mass review bombs, which weren't mass review bombs. It was 4 reviews. It was 10, maybe at max like 30 in total. Holy shit, I need to drink something. What do we have in here? Okay, I think the best thing. Should we look at the software light about EVE Online? I actually covered that. I made a few videos in the past you guys can look up. Pirate Software being a furry. I interviewed Private Parts. He's actually in this chat. I interviewed his lawyer because he was the one that was getting threatened with the lawsuit, or with the defamation claim. Because he has such a track record of lying and manipulating, it sucks that you can't just believe his SWAT claims at face value. I like how you said that, Soggy. Yes. I'm taking it at face value because I'm trying to respect also, like, I don't want to get sued. Like, I don't want to say something explicitly wrong. Like my saving grace with the content that I'm making is that if I fuck up and he is able to prove that I fucked up, I have no like qualms with admitting that I fucked up. I have no issue with apologizing, and I don't want to look at something and let my bias about his past notions or like his past grievances get in the way of me being objective about it, because if I'm not, that could risk my ass. Like that could be a legitimate issue. So I don't want to, yeah, alleged isn't always going to be completely, you know, making me immune from repercussions. Like I want to objectively look at this and say, can I justify logically the argument that I'm making right now? And if I can, then I'll say it. Like when I've talked about him lying, I'm using a very specific like term of the lying and I'm making it very clear. Because even if I like go back and I'm like, well, Pirate Software lied about this, and then I get called out for it, I'd be like, oh, well, I was actually describing this type of lie. I meant like he was laying down. That isn't enough, because that's tricking the viewer. So when I'm talking about it, you can see my videos, I clarify right after. I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm using what Ross said and saying that he is misrepresenting the truth. I'm not saying that he's intentionally doing it, but he is wrong about this. And then I show my evidence, because that like, it does mean something, not only legally for me, but it also means something because I don't want to give you guys bullshit. Like I'm not trying to just like help. We're using the word vindicate a lot now. That's my word. I don't want to just vindicate people that don't like him. I want to prove and justify why someone wouldn't like him based off of things that he's actually done. I think I'm just saying shit right now. Let's actually look at one of these here though. So okay, so I'm going to ask the question again. I'm sorry you have to like copy and paste your message or whatever. Has anybody here, does anyone know this Daniel's blog? I think I saw some people talking about the context of it. If any of you can show it. Actually, no. We were just talking about the swatting stuff. I keep doing it again. Someone went ahead and linked me here. I need to jump to intermittently in the vid. Okay, in the VOD, he's talking about the police. Let's take a look at this. I think this is more important right now. Pirate Software is done with the stop killing games controversy. If you're from BS from me, we'll call it out. Thank you, RFC. Let's actually jump to him talking about this. He said jump to 3941.
Really, really bad. Did you actually get swatted?
Okay, hold on. Wait, is this the one from...
Yeah, on Tuesday. They tried again. Really, really...
Okay, let's see this. I don't think this is the same clip. Maybe it is. Let me see. Merely talks about the police stuff. There we go. I would suggest that it's a bogus blog since the only index stuff are the posts that start from June 21st, but it has some posts from 2023 that aren't, which is weird given the little volume the blog has in regard to posts. Also, the only info that I can find is the fact that he works in HR given by this post. This is the only SWAT raid from PS, period. Wait. Whoa. This is from 5 days ago. Wait, so what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Maybe we take a look at this. This is the only SWAT raid from PS, period. If you could extrapolate on that. Let's focus on this clip first, though. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. Okay. Holy shit, thank you another for the 25. Let's get those numbers up! Do I need to go back to the Ludwig stuff? I might, if there's more update. I think he actually apologized, like, legitimately went forward with a bit more. Okay, but let's see this.
Bad. Did you actually get swatted? Yeah, on Tuesday. They tried again as well, but...
I'm sorry.
That's what that is, so... Thankfully, the local police know who I am, and we were able to defuse the situation, which is good. They will likely keep trying, but it's not going to work. So, that's just how that goes, man. Once on the 1st and once on the 4th. Yeah.
Wait, what?
Thankfully, the local police know who I am, and we were able to defuse the situation, which is good. They will likely keep trying, but it's not going to work. So, that's just how that goes, man. Once on the 1st and once on the 4th. Yeah. Is the dupe bug confirmed fix? I don't know about the dupe bug, because I don't know the methods for the dupe bug, but I know the methods for the repair bug, and the repair bug is now officially fixed. That's fixed. What happened to the debt tracker? Debt tracker should be fine. Something break? Oh, weird. It went off twice.
What the... Sorry, I'm...
Why did it go off twice? Oh, it thinks the stream died. Okay.
Irrelevant.
Let me delete that. It had like an error where it crashed. One. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, when you would pick up a potion bottle, ages and ale both times, which is stupid. Again, yesterday, yeah, and they called me on the phone and like left me a voicemail both times, which is stupid because one of them's in their real voice. It's like, all right, bud, it's not really the smartest thing to do. Yeah. Do they ever get in trouble for it? If they get caught, yeah, 100%. That ends up being
it's such a fucking nothing burger result. Do they get in trouble? Yeah, if they get arrested.
A federal and state felony. It's not really the smartest thing to do.
You get him, Tiger.
Hello, Meatball. How are you doing?
Okay.
Meatball. Yeah, come here. Dude. He came up and acted like he was injured. Little monster, dude. The local, local law enforcement knows everything, man. They have all the voicemails, they have all the times, they have all the phone numbers, everything, all of it. That's how it works.
Okay, so I am most particularly interested. Admittedly, this isn't like a ton to work off of. But let's take. Appreciate you if you know who you are for sending in the clip. I don't know if you don't want me to address you, so I won't.
On Tuesday. They tried again as well, but that's what that is. So
I need to hear that.
We were able to defuse the situation.
Okay.
Thankfully, the local police know who I am, and we were able to defuse the situation, which is good. They will likely keep trying, but it's not good.
So what does that mean, though? God, all right. We're getting speculative again. Okay. Here's my issue. The reason I'm thinking this way. Do you know how much he could milk the ever-loving shit out of this if he got raided? Like if he walked through the situation of having to get down on his hands and knees. Like I know this is fucked. I understand that. Do you know like how much he would benefit from it being the worst thing ever? Like he has so much to gain from this being like a serious thing outside of it being a phone call and them like, or you know, yeah, we had police show up to our front door. Like we had SWAT show up to our front door. He like, there's so much to benefit from to include that, to showcase it. Sounds like instead of swatting, it was either a phone call or someone checking in, but can't know for sure. Right, you can't know for sure. And so I'm a bit perplexed because either, and I wouldn't put this against him. Like I would almost expect him to do it. People called a wellness. He tweeted people called a wellness check, which is very different. Can you show me that? Can we get a link for that tweet if that's true? He's not going to do that because, well, so what I mean by that is like, it just, if we're going off of like making assumptions, it makes it seem like it is not nearly as bad as he is making it out to be. The PD checking in, that's not swatting. I mean, the call itself is the swatting from how I understand it. There's a word for this. We call this lie. Maybe it was an Uber delivery driver who had the wrong address. Yeah, he's wearing a stripper break-off police uniform. He's not going to do that because he's a person that likes to be right all the time. Yeah. Calling a wellness check is swatting is BS. So don't get me wrong. Remember, we're talking about the mass review bombs. Like, yeah, it's not a mass review bomb, but technically, since there isn't like a legitimate definition for it, like swatting, I don't think it's not in the Webster's. Like you can kind of get away with saying, well, a mass review bomb, we're talking about all those different social medias. The action or practice, this is in Oxford. Swatting is literally in the Oxford dictionary. So he is right. Sorry. The action or practice of making a prank call to emergency services in an attempt to bring about the dispatch of a large number of armed police officers to a particular address. It is not the actual them showing up. It is just a matter of it actually happening. Like the call is being made. So I have to go off of this, right? Like let's just, take it as it is. So that is technically swatting. In the same way that technically a mass review bomb isn't like directly defined. We don't have a number for mass or like what that means. Doesn't even have a dictionary memorized. Bro fell off. Fuck you. Eat wiener. Wellness check swatting are almost not the point here. The thing is that it's putting a pressure from a standpoint of telling we have enough about you to make anything we want. Wait, what? Can you re-say that? A wellness check does not result in a large number. That is not the definition. No, but it's the prank call. If someone calls in and they're like, hey, they're holding hostage at this residence, they're trying to get Thor, that is swatting. The follow-up, it's not defined by the follow-up of what people show up. It's about the intention of the call. And the intention of the call was to try to get them fucked over, unless they were calling for a wellness check. But the way he described it with these voicemails, which we don't know about, but he's saying the voicemails, that sounds like someone directly is trying to do this intentionally. So why are we hyperfixated? It's not we, it's me. I'm hyperfixated on making sure that I'm clear about that because I don't want to say, like if I was making a video about this, I don't want to say Pirate Software is lying about swatting because based off of what I'm going off of here, that would be bullshit. Did he play voicemails on stream? I don't believe so. If he did, that'd be incredible. But I think we would already seen it by now. So I don't think he has that. But I'm with you guys. That's the same point that I made about the mass review bombs. I was like, technically, there isn't a definition for it, so I guess he could get away with that. Or he could be talking about the mass review bombing across all social medias. But in my video, I was like, well, that doesn't matter. Because he knows what he's doing when he's saying mass review bomb. Everyone immediately, you go to your head, Helldivers, Overwatch, mass review bombs, tens of thousands on Steam. That's what it's soliciting. Like when you hear that, that's called connotation, I believe. The connotation of what he's saying, they know what people think when they hear that. So when he talks about, yeah, I nearly got killed, like they were trying to kill me with this swatting. Technically, yes, it was a swatting. But they just called him, in this situation, they just gave him a call, be like, hey, we got another swatting, just making sure you're good. And he's like, yep, good. I'm streaming right now. Nothing's wrong. You can even stop by. That is a completely different vibe from they tried to kill me. And like what you've seen with like Aiden Ross, or I think Kai Snats had it on stream, where like they've had to get down on the ground while their place is getting cleared. Right? So it's a completely different like understanding. Like he's making it seem like it was like one of these types of swatting things, but technically he's right. Again, it's the plausible deniability. And so it just feels shitty. It's a little embellishment. Yeah, it's just a little embellishment. No big deal, right? Yeah, no biggie. However, I agree about your overall points. PS is turning things in such a way. Google's AI definition is not Merriam-Webster. This is not AI. This is it definitions from Oxford Languages. This is not AI. I was blown away to see that it was in Oxford. That's interesting. So he operates like a psychopath. I don't know enough about psych to admit with that. Check Cambridge Dictionary. Embellishment a lot because he doubles and triples down on what he says. He had first fully developed thing. He made up a story. Okay. So, all right, let's actually hop in. So the reason that I had an issue with this Daniel's blog, just really quick, since it's an easy thing to go over. Now, admittedly, I'd be interested to hear what other people have to say about this top stuff. Because for me, when I read over it, my brain just shut off because I'm seeing stuff about fair use dealing doctrines and it's just over my head. But I talked about it in here, free to play, the cherry on top. The fact that the movement also wants to extend itself to free to play games is also egregious. People did not pay for these games, and microtransactions do not constitute ownerships of some license to own the game in perpetuity. That is correct. As a matter of fact, Stop Killing Games is trying to push back on that. Let me link the blog for you guys. Yeah, have you guys take a look over it while I'm going over it. Here it is. What's up, Type Decker? Let's just pull up the Stop Killing Games. Stop Killing Games. Let's go to their FAQ. Oh yeah, like the stream, I guess, if you haven't. Thank you guys for popping in, by the way. I think we'll come to a close unless we're finding new shit, because I do want to get a video out and put it out today. And then I have to get up early in the morning tomorrow to go do the job where I talk for a long time again. I'm a tour guide. Sorry. You can start to hear it in my voice now as we've been chatting for a bit. Isn't it unreasonable to ask for... yes, here it is. Okay. So let's read what the FAQ says, huh? Pirate Software lie about the swatting. I don't think so. I think he embellished. That's a great way to say it. While free-to-play games are free for users to try, they are supported by microtransactions, which customers spend money on. Thank you so much, The Shade, for the SCK20. Thank you. While free-to-play games are free for users to try, they are supported by microtransactions, which customers spend money on. When a publisher ends a free-to-play game without providing any recourse to the players, they're effectively robbing those that bought features for the game. Hence, they should be accountable to making the game playable in some fashion once support ends. Our proposed regulations would have no impact on non-commercial games that are 100% free, however. Great. That's the point. So, fantastic. So let's jump back over to Mr. Daniel here. He's saying kind of like, a no shit kind of statement here. The fact that the movement also wanted to extend itself to free-to-play games is egregious. People did not pay for these games, and microtransactions do not constitute ownership of some license to own the game in perpetuity. You're right. It doesn't constitute ownership, and that's why we want to change it. That's what Stop Killing Games is trying to do. there should be a conversation about that. That's fair. Your goods should not fucking disappear into the ether just because the game ends. Agreed. And then he talks about the EU Consumer Protection Cooperation Network. This is stuff that was talked about how they're going to change how microtransactions work, where you can't like this practice that force consumers to purchase unwanted in-game virtual currency, because they'll charge you, be like, you can spend $10 for this amount of currency, but the stuff that you want to buy has it's like 200 more currency than this package. So it's going to make you buy extra. So you're always going to have a little extra. And that's the fucked thing. Excuse me. There we go. Tour guide, you say? Yeah. So, but then he finishes, but SKG wants to extend preservation requirements to games people got for free. The entitlement is staggering. No, that's not what it said. That's literally not what it said. It should be if they have microtransactions. Free-to-play games, if there's no microtransactions, no. Like, you don't need to. That's totally fair. If there are microtransactions, though, we should have a conversation about that, because you don't want to lose it. I got caught up. Do you know the channel name of the first video guy? I want to throw him a sub. Let me get it back in front of you guys. Actually, I'll just link his thing. I'll link his channel here. Drop this guy a sub. He did a fantastic fucking job. Character limit, no plans to privately lecturing you about how server infrastructure works. Oh, I'm fucking stoked. Join the Discord and we'll chat sometime. Okay, so we covered that. I don't think we really got to covering the when activism ignores law. I'd probably want to sit through this and chat with some people in Discord and go through this, because there's a lot that's flying over my head. Do we have, I don't think we have anything else. Let me double check. We had this clips. Still waiting on people to come forward. Oh, wait, no, we do have one thing. Oh. Okay, let's go over this. This is maybe I'm just getting emotional. Maybe I'm just taking this one personally. So those here, are you guys familiar with oh, you're shitting on him. Okay, Buddha, I will take a look at that. So Pirate was not a huge fan of my live stream interview with Jack Vania. So let's go ahead and show you what somebody went ahead and sent me from his. I'm not in Pirate's Discord anymore. Let me go ahead and show you guys what he said. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. I misinterpreted that. Never mind. He wasn't, let me make this clear. He was not doing this. He was not going after Jack because of my interview. That was a selfish assumption to me because I didn't read this fully clearly. This is just off of the fact. So the reason that I know Jack Vania is because I saw him. He had the top tweet. He fucking ratioed Pirate in his comment before he had talked about speaking with Charlie and them. And Jack had, or actually it was on that tweet where he said that I had spoken to Charlie and Joshua Strife Hayes. And Jack replied to him and fucking ratioed the shit out of him. Let me pull it up for you guys so we can see it. X, there we go. Let me pull up Pirates. And there it is. There he is. So proud of him. Look at this. So Jack Vania, also awesome dude. He runs Industry Dev's YouTube channel. Got some growth from doing the interview. He has fucking phenomenal interviews with game devs. But this is where we go. So this is under that reply. Like I said, just talk to Charlie and Josh Strife Hayes. Essentially, doing his double back down. Jack replied, from one dev to another, you lack the intellectual octane to maneuver this space. Many games, specifically multiplayer games, solved 90% of preservation issues decades ago. We just stopped doing it so we could push customers to the yearly reskin because that was more profitable. The problem has already been solved. It's strange to see a dev so lost on this. There's few hangups with MTX, but that is a design problem, not a preservation problem, full stop. Thank you for the 59 Nokia. You look great today. Keep up the hard work. Have fun doing guide thingy tomorrow. Nana from Norway. Here, take my Nokia money. Thank you so much, Little Panda Club. Jack fucking clapped him, bro. intellectual octane, dude. I hear octane, I go brr, Rocket League, but like that goes hard. Well, he didn't like that. Thor was not a fan, and so he took to his Discord and he said some things. Said the developer called into this interview. Was slinging shit at me on Twitter. Oh wait, no. So he was talking about my interview. I thought he wasn't. He also doesn't seem to have experience as per his own about page. He does have experience. He's ghosting. He left a comment on it. You know, that's not a way to verify. That's fair. You know, we can't verify his credentials because he's not willing to like go forward on that. We talked in private. The dude's got rep. He also explains at the beginning. And he also admits that he doesn't have the answer for fucking everything, which I appreciate about Jack. But he said he also tried to claim this can all be solved with APIs. An API is a communication bridge, nothing more. I don't know why Thor is talking so much about coding. We just watched a video about how that's kind of like a whole nothing burger for him. Overall, it appears the guest lacks critical experience and has resorted to attacks over substance. It talks about the API post and the experience. Incredible. So he's just shitting on the dude for no reason. Well, not for no reason. He was shit talking him. God, it just seems in bad faith, and maybe it's not. Maybe he's just immature. I don't know. I don't like jumping to shit without like irrefutable. It's so annoying. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Jack Vinny is here. Thank you, everyone. You are all too kind. Brother, we got you. Hold on. For those who don't know, this guy does interviews with literal game developers, like of games that you fully damn well know. And it is fucking phenomenal. I know I've been kind of like pushing people out. He's fantastic. Please go give him a sub. If you liked that interview, he literally is doing this and talking like that actual tech shit all the time with these people and talking about the development. Did he interview Toby Turner? Dude, that'd be sick. Did you? Let me see here though. Jeremy, as someone in the profoundly gifted category, I can promise you that Thor is slightly below average IQ range. He just likes dorky stuff and lies about being intelligent. It's extremely obvious. Well, I'm glad to hear you're from the profoundly gifted category. Thank you for the $10. Interview was amazing too. It was amazing. Yeah, he's fantastic. Live at 2K. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me go ahead and check this here. Okay. So we went over the Daniel blog. Oh yeah, Jack, I need to talk to you. We might need to do some follow-up maybe. There might actually be some useful. I'm not sure though. Admittedly, I'm kind of all over the place. This is like fucking insane. I was expecting to stream for like maybe 100 people if like I was getting some movement and just kind of be able to record my video, but this has been all over the place, and I just thank you all for fucking showing up. I'm trying to keep my cool. Demos, full game, legislators. Just trying to make sure we went over everything. Okay, is there anything that I missed? Did I completely skip over anything while we were kind of going on tangents here? I just want to make sure I've hit everything. I don't think I have the mental capacity to go over this Daniel blog because I haven't fully read it either, but I'm going to go ahead and I will be taking a look at that probably tomorrow. It was a great stream though. Thank you. Making it, thank you, man. What does Quinthio smell like? Decent from what I understand. Thank you also, Soggy. Thanks for hanging out, dude. We need to actually play some video games together. I recommend taking your team reading the Daniel blog. It's really bad. Hop in the Discord if you guys aren't in it and you want to like kind of go through that with me and just shoot the shit. I play games late at night once I get everything done. I don't know if I'll be able to do it tonight as long as I get this video out proper. I kind of don't even know how I'm going to structure this shit. Like I don't really know. There's so much to cover, but I want to make this interesting and, you know, useful for people's times. I kind of really want to go over this guy's video, and showcase the Twitter stuff, talk about why people have such an issue with it. Here we go. Yes, the earbuds you got, these are IEMs. I can't even remember what they're called. They were like $120 on Amazon. Replacement. I wear them. I have headphones, but I just wear these when I'm about to record so I don't fuck up my hair. Quick lobby, yeah. Dude, we'll do a quick lobby at some point. Find a message of the swap. Might have been a fake screenshot. I'll join the Discord if I can find it again. Please do. Please do. Let me see what you guys were saying. Taking team reading. Possible that Thor is legitimately defending a platform he's subtly using to exploit customer. I mean, maybe. I just don't see the evidence for that right off the bat, other than just like connecting those dots. This chat goes compared to Pirate Software's 5K stream. Jogi don't have accolades, small time. Well, oh yeah, welcome to members. By the way, guys, I don't really have like member perks and stuff set up yet. I haven't been able to scale this up. Like real talk, I was circling the drain and had like maybe a couple thousand views a video. And then I went to VidCon, met really fucking cool people like Soggy, like Tom, like Husky that you're seeing here. I've been like getting to chat with them, and they've helped me a shit ton. And I came back and started pumping out videos daily, and here we are at double my peak of last year. Like, thank you. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to scale back up. If I can get more stuff to take care of so that I can like make better quality stuff for you and like add stuff to the members, I will. As it stands right now, sometimes I might be able to put a video out early for members only, but usually because it's drama related, I can't make a promise that that's always going to be the case. I don't want to like lie to you, but if you have an extra $1 or $5 and you want to support me, this will make it so down the road I won't have to be doing the tour guide thing as well. But I'm trying to do that to also like make money in the interim so we can save up. Also, yeah, Pepe Chill, thank you for sending the stuff you did. You were helpful today. I just saw an AI Sam Hyde on Twitter. Why? Okay, I think... Oh no, I don't want to block Elon Musk. Why did it ask me to? I don't think there's anything else. Awesome. Well, I don't want to draw this out any longer. Thank you guys so much for coming in. Sorry for the random drop off midway through. Again, I'll take a look at some other stuff, but I thank you for coming out. Checking about this. Wait, the guy is checking about SWAT contacted you? No, he did not. I haven't seen any proof of the swatting, or I haven't seen anything further than what Pirate talked about. There was a video of, wait, I need to check something. Yeah. Okay. So this is one person's claim here. They sent me some stuff. He's just sending me proof that we like technically the address for the Pirate Software stuff is listed, and it wasn't. There was a SWAT video from that area in Tacoma, Washington, but there isn't any proof of a swatting. So the one happened recently. It says if it's not in the SWAT video, if there was SWAT, there would be local news or something, but nothing mentioning the wellness checks. Oh, send that in. I'll take a look at that and we'll close off. Welcome to the Quiglets. Thank you for joining. Loser85. Quintio drinks lead water. That's gonna get clipped. Let me see here. He was supposedly on stream. Yeah, we need to actually lock down the info though, you know what I mean? That's the biggest issue. You keep making these videos, the guy was already swatted. What is your end goal? To see him dead? Making my video is not me asking for him to get swatted. I did the exact opposite in the video before. If he's gonna make a fool of himself online and it's this easy to cover it and talk about it, yeah, I'm gonna make a video. It's pissing me off. Like, people are also interested in it. Like, of course, I can't help it. You post it in drama. Can you give me a timestamp for when this came out as well? Let me show the picture to you guys. Thank you for sending that in. Okay, so here it is. Okay. Oh, do you guys want to see my dog socks? My Kate is asking. So here. So first off, let's actually take a look at this first. We'll show the dog after. Show socks. Okay. We'll take a look at him. We'll take a look at my boy after. Give me 1 sec. Let's actually read over this. So Thor posted, and did you give me a time frame for this? Can you like get me the timestamp or screenshot a timestamp for when he posted this? I just don't want this taken out of context. So he said, apparently, Thor, after it gets to that point, I won't be engaging. Once the voting round passes, are you going to make a video expressing in details with? So I think they're talking about Stop Killing Games. The amount of horrific attacks on me is more than enough to stay away. If it was just disagreeing with my stance, it would be fine. So far, we've had wellness checks called on the house. I've been swatted, and okay, so he's making a distinction between the wellness checks and the swatting. And thousands of people are trying to cancel every aspect of my life. Tried to say us about, try to call a state. Okay, stuff we've heard about before. SKG is an initiative I disagree with. The supporting base as a movement I think is absolutely fucking vile. I take the mask off entirely. They can all eat shit. I take the mask off entirely. It's not just a few people. He thinks everyone is fucking vile. I know the title for the video. Pirate Software thinks the SKG people are vile. It's over. Okay. So interesting. Can we verify Blizzard and anyone else credit where all of us are vile? Okay. Well, we got the video for today. He's so it isn't just a few people. Like I said, he's just saying that to get away with saying the shit that he was and literally conflating getting swatted with it had to have been someone from this movement, and it's because of my disagreement on Stop Killing Games, not the fact that I'm just horribly misrepresenting it. That gives more credibility to that shit that I was talking about earlier. Caught on to this guy. Yeah. That's really fucking annoying, dude. Okay. Thank you for sending that in. That will be covered in the video today. Okay. Admittedly, I'm kind of hungry, so I'm going to show you guys socks. I'm going to get off, try to get some food, and then I will get that video out. This is Socrates. Hello, bubbers. I can take these off. Okay, there we go. This is the boy. This is Socrates. We have an emote for him on in our what is it called? In the Discord. You calm down there, sir. Kate's wiggling her fingers behind so he'll look at the camera. What's up, bub? What's up, dude? He's really goofy looking. Yeah, Socks, it's short for Socrates, because we thought that would be funny. This is our little boy that is allergic to chicken. He loves to play. He's just kind of goofy and shit. Hi, dude. Yeah, he's a little baby still. He's like 2 years old. Super relaxed. Pretty much like just wouldn't hurt a fly. Just lovable, honestly. Gets along with everybody. So yeah, he's super good boy, super docile. Okay, he wants to see Kate. Okay, he's going insane. He's never been dropped. We just gotten lucky and just have not dropped. All right, dude. We haven't dropped him. So he'll try to jump out of our arms because he doesn't know what falling to the ground feels like that. Maybe that's bad on us. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt a fly. Discord post is from 7/2/25, 9:18 p.m. Thank you very much. So that is July 2nd. So that was 2 days before. Okay, so he was talking about the swatting. I believe that was Tuesday. Hold on. The second, no, it was Wednesday. It was the day after the swatting. Okay. Sick. Dog socks. Yeah. Sorry. Highly disappointed. We did try to put baby socks on him when he was little because his feet were getting cold in the snow. Okay, cool. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the info. It's going to make for a banging video tonight. We posted Drought is not his house. I have his address. Okay. We'll be following up. Sorry. All right. I don't like doing this when I don't have it all ordered together. After SWAT 1, then he got swatted again the 4th. I think he said that, yes. We'll talk more. Join the Discord. Soggy, let's chat sometime. Just shoot the shit about this. I think I just have fun walking through this with you. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Hate to see me love to see me go. I don't know. I've got a big dumpy, as you guys can see. Cheers. And take care of yourselves. I don't know. I'll stream at some point again when I have something useful to like research. There was just a lot to cover. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Adios. Peace. Bye.